Jawbreaker, a Fable, Part 1. Area 51, Sublevel 3, Room 14. A rectangular aquarium tank on a brushed steel table. It had that clear caulk smeared in its glass corners, but no water or fish or blue pebbles inside. No, a cloud of smoke in that tank, thick as milk and veined with lightning. And inside the cloud, a miniature galaxy. Stars, nebula, planets. Galaxy M64. Like some witch's brew, it spiraled slowly. Adam asked how M64 got into an aquarium tank during the brief, but he didn't get much. "You got the SDS on the quantum tunnel, right?" said Dixon, sitting on the edge of his desk. He smelled like coffee. "Sure." Adam pressed his skinny frame against the chair. He didn't read much from management, but he read the safety data sheets. Everyone did after the gravity well incident. Dixon yanked off his glasses. "Yeah, well, Nichols had the damn thing set too high again, and M64 got caught in a wrinkle." "The Rosen Bridge?" "Whatever, look, the goddamn thing shrank down to Munchkin size before Nichols could shut it off. Luckily, the containment field held, and we had that tank nearby." He thumbed over his shoulder. "Okay. You want me to work with Nichols on this?" "Nichols? Christ, no. No, he's not getting anywhere near anything shiny for a long time. No, I want you to work with Hallinan." "Hallinan?" "A firm. Yari. He's finished, and he's from CERN. He's keeping that tank running. You'll love him. Built like a brick shithouse. Good kid." "Okay." Adam's heart sank. "What am I doing again?" You're an astrobiologist, right?" "Yes, sir." "Well, you got a goddamn miniverse in a fish tank. Think about it." "Right. Bioscan. Bingo. Sublevel 3, Room 14. The elevator doors opened. Concrete corridor. Twin fluorescent light tubes ran down the ceiling to a vanishing point. Adam remembered how he told his therapist, an attractive woman from Carlsbad, that the road his father paved for him was lined with fluorescent tubes. She gave him a patronizing, unfortunate smile, like a concerned aunt. Room 14. Adam knocked twice, stepped in, and gently closed the door. The only source of light in the room was pool blue, and it bloomed from its aquarium tank heart. The containment field clouds roiled like boiling silk in slow motion, and the arcane lightning within gave them an aqua blue tint, mesmerizing. The Finn wanted to post a video on his YouTube channel, the containment cloud with a death metal soundtrack, but he liked freedom and his job. And to reduce light pollution interference in their scopes, he kept all other lights off, leaving the edges of the room in darkness. The Finn emerged from the dark and hurried to the tank like a moth. Noticing Adam abruptly, he hurried over and snapped out his hand. Dixon wasn't kidding. The Finn was Olympic, with a blonde crew cut. "Hello, I am Yari." "Adam," he dead-fished the handshake. "Yes, you are a biocosmologist. Fascinating. You found those spores on Ceres, yes?" "Yep. Very exciting." He smiled with a sparkle in his eye from his strident morning jogs. "Sure." It took Adam hours to install his equipment around the tank. Dixon had all his scopes, scanners, and sound meters sent down, but nobody made those gadgets to mount vertically on glass. Adam had to rig it all with aluminum tubing, C-clamps, and industrial suction cups. "Your father is great man," Yari adjusted a buffer on his containment field. "The gravity spectrometer is real breakthrough." "Yeah, he'd love to hear that." After his mom died, the prospect of raising an 11-year-old boy frightened Adam's father, and he diverted that fear into pushing his son too hard. He talked about nobodies and pressed his lips at the Roswell common folk as they drove by. He pointed out people that Adam didn't want to become. He wore those thick, black-framed glasses from the 60s. When Adam said he really enjoyed marine biology in science class, his father said, "Nonsense. They're a bunch of sea hippies. Don't be ridiculous." He drove with a sweaty neck. And he drove Adam to the hardware store, to the University of Mexico, to the security offices, and to that Area 51 job, like a Dodge Diplomat in the fast lane. There was no getting off. "Maybe someday we'll get to sub-level 16 and actually work with your father," said Yadi. "That would be great, no?" "Don't hold your breath on that one," said Adam. "Hold breath?" "Never mind." Adam turned on the bioscanner and told Yadi he was out for a burrito. "Boy," said Yadi. Adam sighed. His apartment, standard for a young American in his mid-20s. Black lacquer furniture, pop culture posters, piled laundry. The burrito was making its way through his ileum at around 2:30 a.m. Adam was playing a video game with his friends. His phone thrummed. A biosignature ping from a scanner. Life. "God damn it, I gotta go, guys." He threw off his headset. Naturally, finding alien life on another planet would change human history in the wild. But in Area 51, it happened a few times a year. You got to name the thing for yourself, and maybe an office party on Friday. At least Yadi won't be there. He got to room 14 by around 3. The bioscanner pinged a small planet in the Goldilocks zone near the star Alpha Canis Majoris. Carbon-based life forms. He put his favorite transmission electron scope on the glass and hit record. His friend Kevin from Subfloor 8 rigged it with enough nanometer resolution to see Armstrong's footprint on the moon. Adam zoomed in through the smoke and saw a little planet with multicolored specks on its land masses. Its oceans white. It reminded him of candy. With a smile to himself, he clacked Jawbreaker into the database. That would surely disappoint. Zooming in further, he penetrated its atmosphere and clouds and scanned the land a children's cartoonist might have drawn. The trees, gigantic multicolored vegetables. There were lime green mountains and licorice red rivers and vast deserts stretched out like construction paper. In an Eastern Hemisphere desert, about an hour later, he saw them. Tiny humanoid things. They came in all colors and looked like they had escaped the gummy bear mold and melted a little. They moved about quickly, like on fast forward, and their voices, a high pitch. Time dilation, he thought. He called them the Morp, with another wry smile. "They speak?" asked Eva from Xenoanthropology in the topside conference room a few hours later. "They seem to be communicating," said Adam from across the table. "Yes." "Have you run the audio through the AI language models?" "Not yet. Good idea." He had a thing for Eva since the Christmas party. He fell in love when she got tipsy and danced to Feliz Navidad with Manders of all people. Freaking Manders. "What are we calling these things again?" asked Dixon, as if he just heard a foreigner speak. Many blind shadows striped his square head. "The Morp, sir." Adam felt stupid. "The Morp?" "Yes, sir." Dixon sat back, looking at him sideways with pressed lips. Adam felt like crawling under the whiteboard. Dixon pulled his eyes off Adam. "How much time would you say we have, Yadi?" "The time dilation is quite severe. The miniaturization effect on M64's gravity has put our ratio of our time to theirs at 98.73 years for 1 day." Yadi wrinkled his forehead. "That means M64's expansion will reach the glass in about 3 months. So every day that passes here is around 100 years in there?" "Yeah, yes." Dixon whistled. "And what happens when their expansion reaches the containment?" "The electromagnetics will, how you say, vaporize them." Dixon whistled again. Sorry, Eva leaned in. If you had to say what age these things are in, comparatively speaking, what would you say? Bronze Age? No, they're still hunter-gatherers. They hunt these antelope rhinoceros things with spears. Like a schoolteacher, she explained to Adam how he should just observe them from the glass. Shouldn't we, try to help them? No, she smiled. She explained how, per the incident plan, he was to record the Morp progress diligently, so they wouldn't miss anything. Anything more would be catastrophic. She gave him a few disaster scenarios with her Hungarian body language. You and Yari take shifts, said Dixon. Manders will be a third. Fantastic. Adam signed up for the night shift. Just make sure all of your recording equipment is on and send us the data. Eva smiled at each of them. We'll take it from there. They weren't going to take it anywhere. The alphas in the room, the same ones from everyone's high school, didn't really give a lab rat's ass. They had much larger, darker projects in the lower levels. M64 was just another incident, something to keep the nerds busy for the rest of the summer. They moved the meeting onto HR's presentation about their new benefits for the next year, including health insurance for their pets. Room 14 sounded like an idling spacecraft with all the boys' equipment. Pleasant little whirs, beeps, and fans from various machinery. They kept the door shut. On the electroscope, Adam watched the Morp zoom into their agricultural age. He observed the emergence of organized circular fields, pastoral farms dotted across the candied land. For the next few nights, life on Jawbreaker looked pleasant. The migratory hunts and all the running about and screaming gave way to a more peaceful, concerted effort. Adam caught himself enjoying his job for a change. This study reminded him of a video game he used to play in middle school, Civilization. Sequestered from the writhing plains and their farm plots, the Morp began kneading clay huts from the ground. Like a diorama in time-elapse, they cast thimble shadows on the planet's surface. Soon they bloomed at the towns near the bends of rivers and in the foothills like chocolate chips. In his notes, he compared the architecture to the Inca, Machu Picchu, because he thought his 3 minutes of research with the AI would impress her. He got there late one night and found a sticky note on the tank. It read, "Language model complete," with an encrypted website, a smiley face, and an exclamation point. By the time Adam finished his coffee, he was on the sticky note site and looking at a translated video feed from Yari's swarm of nano-drone cameras. Clever bastard, he thought. The Finn even had the AI creeps on Sublevel 7 train his dust-sized drones to flag conversations from a list of hot topics. This video on his monitor was one of them. Adam pressed play.